So, as we established last time, right, we have these indicators, and that the breakdown in communication is really key for leading to more crime because it hampers in like one's discussion of control of acceptable and non-acceptable behaviors. And so we can also think about this if we use like a relationship as an example of what happens when there is, a communication breakdown, right? So, for those of you that have been in relationships, and for those of you who have not, we've all been in relationships of some kind, right? We've had parents, we've had siblings, we've had romantic partners, like whatever, right? And communication is often like really key, right? Because if you think about what relationship does, right? We have this communication. We can express a need, so maybe we need something. Maybe we are venting and wanting to be heard. Maybe it's something like where we can also express when things hurt or fail or of some kind or something like that. So that kind of thing can happen if they're expressing while things hurt, and do something like that, right? If we have good communication, we can set a way to heal or correct things as they pop up, right? And it really comes up with good communication. Usually really strong relationships, really strong couples are able to communicate with one another, and they're able to navigate any kind of issues because they can have this open dialogue. Now, when there is this, I don't know why I drew that symbol, that doesn't make any sense. When there's no communication, though, this is where problems tend to emerge, right? Now, that could be because someone, maybe is in a relationship they don't want to be out of. They're prioritizing someone's happiness over the others. They don't care about that person. Who knows? There could be any host of issues why someone doesn't want to get out, or there's poor communication. This can lead to resenting behavior. You're waiting to get out of the relationship. You're looking for that opportunity, but there's not ever a good one, so you just stay forever. It could be that someone decides to explore other partners, if you will, or start treating someone unkind. It could be all kinds of misbehavior. And so what ends up happening, right, is that because there's this lack of, I was about to put mish behavior as if I was like drunk writing. If there's this breakdown in communication, then this invites a lot of negative behaviors that are harmful, they're detrimental. People feel icky about the relationship they're in, and then they really can't get out. So it's the same kind of process when thinking about social disorganization as crime, is that when there is no communication, or there is a lack of communication. Now, the other part is that there could be conflicting views. There could be, more dominant voices. This could be a situation where, if there is, maybe there's just like an unwillingness to discuss because of fears or trepidation or whatever. All these things contribute to low social control, a disorganized way of controlling a neighborhood, and equaling more crime, right? So that's in a nutshell, a different way to think about it, how one can think about social control or social disorganization and crime. Excuse me. It's not even that late, but that's where we had like to jump forward and stuff. I don't know. So, so we can accept that, how does this break down, right? So why, before we talked about these issues where, we had poverty, ethnic heterogeneity, residential mobility in a neighborhood, why would this lead to social disorganization? So when the people who originally came up with the theory, Sean McKay, came up, right, they basically come in and they were making notes of patterns of immigrants who were coming into an area, right? And in it, right, and where crime was, right? And so they ended up finding that, immigrant people So a lot of people who are coming to the city, maybe, not necessarily from outside the country, but from, from other parts of the country in rural areas, or moving to a big city. They were studying Chicago. So immigrant or outsiders would come in, they're looking for work. And a lot of them, like in their city, Chicago, right, there's a lot of Polish people, there are Italian people, there are people from rural Midwestern America, and so on, right? There's like this culture clash, right, that are all coming together. So there is this, ethnic heterogeneity. So at the same time, right, there is poverty, right, because these are areas that people could afford, and also high residential mobility where people were trying to get out, right? More or less is what they were saying is that what they attributed their findings for why the certain areas kept staying upright is that the same areas were marked by all these problems, right? And they were noted because people would move in. So people move in. And they wouldn't want to stay, right? Because they're looking to get out. They're looking to make some bucks and eventually move into a better neighborhood. No one wants to be poor. They get a new job. They have new life circumstances. They want to move on, right? So because these move in and because they're all from different backgrounds, they lack a shared understanding of where each other's coming from. Much worse, though, than today, for sure. So because there is this different backgrounds that come into place, there's a lack of shared understanding of community about like what is or is not acceptable behavior. And so, and because people are willing to move in and out, right, they want to move out quickly, there's a lot of this mobility, no one's invested in the community. And as a result, there's no communication, there's no regulation of behavior, and you have these situations where people are more likely to, act out, misbehave, and the like, right? So that's what their core argument is, then, is that why these things end up mattering, and why, if we focus on this communication breakdown, why it leads to more criminal behavior. Okay, so we'll pause.